The day often begins with a quiet sound. It might be the gentle hum of a coffee machine. It could be the soft pour of hot water over fresh grounds. For millions of people around the world, this is the start of a cherished daily ritual. A cup of coffee holds more than just a warm liquid. It represents a moment of peace before the world wakes up. It is a small, personal ceremony, one that signals a transition from the quiet of the night to the activity of the day. This simple act can be a source of comfort, a familiar friend that greets you each morning with its rich, inviting aroma. This daily companion is something many of us feel we know so well. Our favorite mugs, our preferred ways of brewing, the exact amount of milk or sugar we like to add. Yet, the story behind this beloved drink is vast and fascinating. It travels through centuries. The coffee we drink connects us to a long chain of history. It connects us to culture. It connects us to science. Each sip is a taste of this incredible journey. Understanding this journey can make that morning cup feel even more special, transforming it from a simple habit into a mindful experience filled with appreciation for its complex origins. Many people are surprised to learn that the coffee bean is not a bean at all. It is actually a seed. These seeds are found inside a small red fruit called a coffee cherry. The cherries grow on trees in specific regions of the world, often in mountainous areas with just the right climate. Imagine a bright red cherry, similar to the ones we eat, but with a different purpose. Inside each of these fruits, there are usually two seeds, nestled together. Farmers carefully harvest these cherries, then begin the process of preparing the seeds for their long journey to our cups. The journey from a small seed on a tree to the dark, aromatic grounds in our kitchens is a long one. Coffee is one of the most traded commodities on the planet, second only to oil in value for many years. It is a vital source of income for millions of farmers and workers in countries across the Bean Belt, a region that circles the globe near the equator. This global trade means that the coffee in your cup has likely traveled thousands of miles, passing through many hands. It is a quiet testament to global connection, a simple product that links diverse cultures and economies in a shared appreciation for its unique character. To truly appreciate coffee, we must start at its source, the coffee plant. These plants are evergreen shrubs that can grow quite tall if left untrimmed. They thrive in rich soil and require a delicate balance of rainfall and sunshine. After the plant flowers with fragrant white blossoms, the fruit begins to develop, the coffee cherry. It starts as a small green node and slowly ripens over several months, turning a vibrant, deep red when it is ready for harvest. The sight of a coffee tree laden with ripe red cherries is a beautiful one, a promise of the rich flavor to come. Inside each of these plump cherries lies the treasure, the coffee seeds. Most cherries contain two seeds, which grow facing each other, creating their characteristic flat side. The process of getting to these seeds is a meticulous one. Farmers use two primary methods. The dry process. In the dry process, the entire cherry is laid out to dry in the sun. Over several weeks, the fruit shrivels and hardens, and the seeds can then be easily removed. This method often imparts sweet, fruity flavors as the seed absorbs sugars from the drying fruit pulp around it. The wet process is more complex. Here, the outer skin and pulp of the cherry are removed shortly after harvesting, usually with a machine. The seeds, still coated in a sticky layer called mucilage, are then soaked in water for a day or two. During this fermentation period, enzymes break down the sticky layer, which is then washed away. This method tends to produce a cleaner, brighter, and more acidic cup of coffee. The choice of processing method has a profound impact on the final taste profile, and it is one of the many artisanal decisions that shape the character of the coffee we enjoy. Once the seeds are washed and dried to the correct moisture level, they are known as green coffee. At this stage, they are stable and can be stored and shipped around the world. These green seeds have a grassy, earthy smell, nothing like the coffee we recognize. The final magical transformation happens during roasting. Roasting is both an art and a science. It is a carefully controlled process of heating the green seeds, causing complex chemical reactions to occur. The sugars and amino acids within the seed caramelize and transform, creating the hundreds of aromatic compounds that give roasted coffee its deep brown color, its intoxicating aroma, and its complex flavor. The story of coffee's movement across the globe is as rich and complex as its flavor. Its journey began on the high plateaus of Ethiopia, its native land. It crossed the Red Sea to the Arabian Peninsula, arriving in Yemen in the 15th century. In Arabia, coffee was first cultivated and traded on a large scale. The port city of Mocha became a bustling hub for the coffee trade, so famous its name became synonymous with coffee. For a time, the Arab world held a tight monopoly on coffee cultivation, guarding plants and forbidding the export of fertile seeds. But that monopoly wouldn't last. The allure of this new, energizing beverage was too strong. Pilgrims visited Arabia, captivated by coffee. Traders did too, eager to take it home. A Sufi pilgrim from India, Baba Budan, is said to have smuggled 7 fertile seeds out of Yemen by strapping them to his chest. He planted them in the hills of southern India, breaking the Arabian monopoly and starting coffee's spread across Asia. This act opened the door for coffee to become a global crop. The Dutch then played a crucial role in the next chapter. In the late 17th century, they acquired seedlings and began cultivating them in their colonies. Java, Sumatra, now part of Indonesia. From their colonial outposts, the Dutch introduced coffee to Europe, where it became a sensation. Coffee houses sprang up across Europe. Venice, London, Paris. These places became centers of social life, political life, intellectual life. People gathered to discuss ideas, conduct business, and enjoy this stimulating drink. In England, they were nicknamed penny universities. A penny bought a cup and conversation. From Europe, coffee crossed the Atlantic to the Americas. A French naval officer, Gabriel de Clieu, is credited with bringing a single coffee seedling to Martinique in the Caribbean. Legend says he protected the fragile plant during a perilous voyage, even sharing his water ration with it. From that one plant, coffee spread rapidly through Central and South America. Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica. The climate and soil in those countries proved ideal for coffee growing, and the region soon became the world's largest producer, a title it still holds today. Every great story has a memorable beginning, and the story of coffee is no different. A beautiful, simple legend from ancient Ethiopia offers a charming explanation. The tale centers on a young goat herd named Kaldi in the Kaffa Highlands, where wild coffee trees grew. Kaldi, a dutiful shepherd, watched his flock grazing the lush hillsides. His life was simple and predictable until one remarkable afternoon. One day, Kaldi noticed something strange about his goats. They were usually calm and placid, but that day they were full of unusual energy. They were leaping, bleating, dancing with a vigor he had never seen. Puzzled, he watched them closely. He discovered the source: goats munching bright red berries on a nearby shrub. Curious, Kaldi picked a few cherries and chewed them. Soon, a wonderful exhilaration and energy washed over him. Weariness vanished. He felt alert and joyful. He joined his goats in their happy dance, feeling alive and wakeful. Overjoyed, he gathered berries and rushed to a nearby monastery. He told the head monk how the berries gave energy and clarity. The monk was skeptical, suspicious, fearful of devil's work. He threw the berries into a nearby fire. As the cherries heated, something wonderful happened. The seeds roasted in the flames, releasing a rich, heavenly aroma. The aroma drew the other monks. They raked the roasted seeds from the fire, crushed them, and dissolved them in hot water. That night, they drank the brew and stayed awake and alert through long evening prayers. Section 5. Unlocking the science, caffeine, and your brain. The energizing effect that Kaldi and his goats experienced is now well understood by science. The primary reason coffee makes us feel more awake is a natural compound called caffeine. Caffeine is a mild stimulant that acts on the central nervous system. When we consume coffee, the caffeine is absorbed into the bloodstream and travels to the brain. There, it performs a clever trick. It fits into receptors in our brain receptors, meant for a neurotransmitter called adenosine. This act of blocking adenosine is the key to coffee's stimulating power. Adenosine is a chemical our body produces throughout the day. As adenosine levels build up in the brain, it binds to receptors and signals our body to slow down and rest. This causes the feeling of sleepiness and fatigue. When caffeine comes along, it essentially gets in the way. It blocks adenosine from docking with its receptors, preventing the time-to-sleep message from being delivered. As a result, we don't feel the effects of accumulating adenosine, and our brains remain in a more wakeful, stimulated state for longer. This blocking action does more than just keep us from feeling sleepy. By preventing adenosine from doing its job, caffeine allows other stimulating neurotransmitters to have a bigger effect. Dopamine, norepinephrine. This can lead to improved mood, faster reaction times, and enhanced cognitive functions, like memory and general mental performance. The feeling of increased focus and alertness after a cup of coffee is a direct result of this chemical interaction in the brain. The effect of caffeine can begin quite quickly, often within 15 to 45 minutes of drinking a cup of coffee. The duration of its effects, however, can vary greatly from person to person. Our bodies, specifically our livers, produce an enzyme that breaks down caffeine. How efficiently our body produces this enzyme is largely determined by our genetics. Some people are fast metabolizers of caffeine. For many years, coffee was viewed with suspicion in health circles. Today, however, a large body of scientific research paints a much more positive picture. One of the most consistent findings relates to type 2 diabetes. Numerous large-scale studies have observed that people who regularly drink coffee have a significantly lower risk of developing this condition. While the exact mechanisms are still being studied, it is thought that compounds in coffee, including caffeine and antioxidants like chlorogenic acid, may help improve insulin sensitivity and regulate blood sugar levels, offering a protective effect against the disease. The brain also appears to benefit from a regular coffee habit. Research has consistently shown a link between coffee consumption and a reduced risk of neurodegenerative diseases. For instance, many studies have found that coffee drinkers have a lower likelihood of developing Parkinson's disease. There is also evidence suggesting coffee may help protect against cognitive decline associated with aging, and it may even lower the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Caffeine's ability to protect nerve cells and reduce inflammation in the brain is thought to play a key role in these potential protective effects. Beyond the major organs, coffee might even offer a small, surprising contribution to our digestive health. Brewed coffee, especially when it is unfiltered like French press coffee, can contain a small amount of soluble dietary fiber. This fiber comes from tiny fragments of the coffee bean cell wall that make their way into the final drink. While the amount is not large enough to replace fiber from fruits or vegetables, every little bit contributes to a healthy gut microbiome. This small fiber content is another piece of the puzzle explaining coffee's complex relationship with our bodies. Perhaps the most immediate and noticeable benefit is coffee's impact on mood and energy. As discussed, caffeine's role in blocking adenosine helps to fight fatigue and increase alertness. This can translate into a tangible boost in mood for many people. The simple ritual of preparing and drinking a warm beverage can also have a psychologically comforting effect. Some research has even linked regular coffee consumption to a lower risk of depression. This mood-supporting role, combined with its ability to enhance focus, makes coffee a valuable tool for many in navigating the demands of a busy day. The liver, an organ responsible for filtering toxins from the body, seems to have a special affinity for coffee. A wealth of research has linked regular coffee drinking to improved liver health. Studies show that coffee drinkers often have lower levels of liver enzymes that, when elevated, can indicate inflammation or damage. Furthermore, Consistent coffee consumption has been associated with a reduced risk of developing liver conditions, such as cirrhosis liver cancer, making it a surprising ally for this vital organ. Coffee may also play a supportive role in maintaining a healthy weight. The caffeine in coffee is known to slightly increase the body's metabolic rate, meaning it can temporarily boost the number of calories you burn at rest. It can also enhance physical performance during exercise, potentially allowing for a more vigorous workout. While these effects are modest, and coffee is by no means a magic bullet for weight loss, it can be a helpful component of a balanced diet and an active lifestyle, offering a small but useful metabolic advantage for those managing their weight. Another interesting area of research involves gout, a painful form of inflammatory arthritis caused by high levels of uric acid in the blood. Several large observational studies have found that people who drink coffee regularly, including decaffeinated versions, tend to have a lower risk of developing gout. It is believed that certain compounds in coffee may help the body process and excrete uric acid more efficiently, thereby lowering the risk of the painful crystal formation in the joints that characterizes a gout attack. This adds another potential benefit to coffee's growing resume. When we talk about coffee, we are not talking about just one type of plant. The world of coffee is dominated by two main species, Arabica Robusta. These two types of beans account for the vast majority of coffee grown and consumed worldwide, and they each have distinct characteristics. Arabica, or Coffea arabica, is the more popular of the two, making up about 60% or more of global production. It is known for its delicate and complex flavor profile. Arabica beans are prized for their bright acidity sweet notes, aromatic qualities often exhibiting hints of fruit flowers. Caramel. Growing Arabica is a delicate affair. It requires high altitudes, consistent rainfall, mild temperatures, making it more challenging and expensive to cultivate. The beans themselves are typically oval in shape. Side by side, Robusta round versus Arabica oval. Because of its superior taste and aroma, Arabica is the bean of choice for the specialty coffee market. When you buy a bag of single-origin coffee from a local roaster, you are almost always buying 100% Arabica beans. Its lower caffeine content, typically around 1.5% by weight, also contributes to its smoother, less harsh flavor profile, making it a favorite among those who savor the nuanced taste of their coffee. The other major player is Robusta, or Coffea canephora. As its name suggests, Robusta is a hardier and more resilient plant. It can be grown in hotter climates at lower altitudes, and it is more resistant to disease. This makes it easier and cheaper to grow, which is why it is often used in instant coffee and as a component in espresso blends. Robusta beans are more circular in shape. They possess a much bolder, stronger, and more classic coffee flavor. This flavor can sometimes be described as rubbery or chocolatey, and it is generally less acidic and more bitter than Arabica. The most significant difference between the two is their caffeine content. Robusta beans pack a serious punch, containing 2.5% or more caffeine by weight, nearly double the amount found in Arabica. This high caffeine content not only contributes to its bitter taste, but also makes it a popular choice for those seeking a powerful energy boost. In the world of espresso, a small percentage of Robusta is often included in a blend. It helps to produce a thick stable crema, long-lasting crema, and adds a deep, powerful kick to the final beverage. Coffee, with its rich history and complex science, is much more than just a source of caffeine. It is a cultural touchstone, a global economic force, and for many, a source of simple daily pleasure. The journey from a small seed in a distant land to the warm cup in our hands is a remarkable one, filled with history, artistry, and science. Understanding this journey can deepen our appreciation for every sip. The evidence suggests that for most healthy adults, coffee can be part of a healthy lifestyle, offering a range of potential benefits from brain health to liver support, all wrapped in a low-calorie package. However, it is crucial to approach coffee with mindfulness and moderation. The key is to listen to your own body. While some people can enjoy several cups a day with no ill effects, others are more sensitive to caffeine and may experience jitters, anxiety, or disrupted sleep from just a small amount. There is no single right amount of coffee for everyone. Pay attention to how it makes you feel. If a cup in the afternoon keeps you awake at night, it is wise to make your last cup an earlier one. If coffee makes you feel anxious, perhaps reducing your intake or switching to decaf. It is also important to be mindful of what you add to your coffee. A simple cup of black coffee contains almost no calories. However, once you begin adding generous amounts of sugar, flavored syrups, and heavy cream, that simple cup can quickly transform into a high-calorie, high-sugar dessert. Enjoying your coffee with a splash of milk or a small amount of sweetener is perfectly fine, but being aware of these additions is a key part of incorporating coffee into a balanced and healthy diet. The beauty of coffee is its versatility, and you have the power to make it fit your personal health goals. In the end, coffee can be a wonderful and cozy part of life. The best path forward is one of calm and considered balance. Enjoy the ritual, savor the aroma and the complex flavors, appreciate the science and the history that come together in your mug. Use it as a tool to gently awaken your mind, but do not become overly reliant on it. Drink it with gratitude and responsibility. By finding your own personal equilibrium, you can continue to share in the quiet warmth and simple joy that a good cup of coffee has offered people for centuries. It is a moment of peace in a cup.